Buffalo Bills Fandom Rewards. The geographically targeted audience for the Buffalo Bills fans primarily reside in upstate New York. According to the article of Helix.ai, still, the target audience also has potential to grow in Buffalo, New York. There are men and women age ranging from 36 to 41. Majority drive a Ford pickup truck with an income range of $50,000 to $75,000 per year. They are married with at least one child with a bachelor's degree or higher. In addition, the enjoyment of horror films, and according to Helix.com, the favorite betting app used is Sportsline. The target market is also owns their own home, works in management, business finance, education, and healthcare, and attends all home games annually. It's clear that the conditions for our fan rewards program is favorable. Although we have a super small fan base, which is in the lower half of the NFL, our small fan base ranks in the top 50% in attendance. And one thing that we're trying to do is take from the PGA's loyalty program. This gives them rewards that gives them digital points for checking in at events, interacting in the app's different features, and will allow this trend not to only further connect us with our fans, will establish a method of fan engagement that follows industry trends. These are three of our direct competitors: the Buffalo Sabres, Buffalo Bison, and the Queen City Roller Derby. What makes them direct competitors is that we share the same market. Both the Sabres and Bisons have an existing fan loyalty program, the Herd Membership Club, and the Sabres Fan Advantage. These programs each offer savings on merchandise, tickets, concessions, and fan experiences. The Queen City Roller Derby offers a completely different type of experience for their fans, with spectator seats at the Buffalo waterfront near several bars and restaurants. With the way marketing's going today, we're going to have three separate breakdowns. We're going to have online, traditional, and guerrilla. We're really going to focus on guerrilla right here because we believe that this is what's going to take us to the next level. So in the first year of pre-launch, we're going to run this Fan of the Year contest, and it is going to be showcasing the extreme fandom that the Buffalo Bills have. And the winner of this will be decided by the guest experiences development, and will receive a free year of the base level membership that would in turn increase exposure to the program. We're also going to be using napkins, trays, anything we can sell at concessions with QR codes with your food could have been free, your drink could have been free written on it, where you scan the QR code, it's going to take you right back to the informational team page where you can sign up for the Bills Fandom Rewards. These pieces we have right here, one is to build up the buzz around our whole program here, and that's the one that would be on your left, and the other one on the right is a mock-up of what the app could possibly look like. Our revenue streams will be formed from a two-tier membership level: the base tier, the rock pile level, and the premium ultimate backer level. Since the awards program works in conjunction with the stadium, we can use stadium capacity as a reference point for membership sales. In year one, we would sell 15,000 rock pile memberships, 25% of the stadium's capacity, and 5,000 ultimate backer memberships, or 8% of the stadium's capacity. These numbers would increase into years 2 and 3 as popularity of the program increases. Our primary expense for this program will be equipment and app development. That makes up roughly 90% of the cost, with the exception of the marketing costs in the first 3 years. We plan to use different forms of marketing such as social media, traditional media, and radio advertisement, as well as TV networks. Our in-house IT employees will maintain and monitor all the apps to ensure the quality of customer experience. With that being said, we expect to make a substantial profit in year one of $3.9 million. This is due to the fact that we have a large demographic that is eager for a service such as this. As you can see here, the revenue far outweighs the expenses required to get this total program off the ground. This is due to the Bills' strong fan base and relatively low cost of development. The first change in operating plans will be to secure new app development software, as the rewards program will be app-based. Additionally, with the influx of new information we'll be gathering from fan accounts within the app, we've determined that the new on-site server would be ideal for storing this information. In year one, we'll have new expenses for the software, equipment, beta testing, prototyping, research and development, and will ensure a smooth transition and address any bugs in the software before we deploy the finished product. Year 2 and 3 will have recurring expenses for both app and server maintenance. As we all know, apps have a lot of risk and liability that we want to avoid. Some of those being having strong input validation and data encryption to avoid being able to have people take our information on the back end. There are also some other risks that we, as far as functionality goes, with data storage. We're going to use Precarious data storage, which kind of just shoots it everywhere on our servers, so we never overload one thing. We also have to make sure that we have a very good UI and UX integrated within the app so that it works well and is very easily used. API, and we also have to have API production, which allows the application to not have its data taken by other applications that we don't want it to have taken by. There are a bunch of different rules and regulations that we have to follow with this app. One of them being the Consumer Privacy Act, another being the Children Online Privacy Protection Act, and although not used as often for us, the California Online Privacy Protection Act. Just in general, we need to follow these in order to make sure our app is under regulations and have the ability to be used everywhere in the United States. The first thing that we're going to need is a licensing agreement. The licensing agreement protects the rights of the client without compromising the intellectual property. To ensure the Buffalo Bills organization keeps ownership from the developer and transfers copyright ownership, it needs to be in place. Due to the technology involved in creating an app, ownerships of underlying technology, also known as background technology agreement, should be in place to ensure the Buffalo Bills will retain the rights to the materials. We should also have warranty provisions and a warranty of the app performance in place. Both agreements promise the seller that the product will be performance reasonably, and to keep the app protected, we must have different insurances in place. The first thing we're going to need is cyber insurance. It is insurance protecting its cyber liabilities and could cover things like data breaches and people's personal information. Cyber insurance also protects against errors, omissions, which products and app developers from lawsuits over work performance, intellectual property, and media liability. General liability, property, and workers' compensation are no longer needed here because the Buffalo Bills organization has already hired these individuals working on the app. Intellectual property is a tricky thing, but with the Buffalo Bills organization, we are going to need to put in a patent for intellectual property of the app and make sure that the developers can't do the same against us. One thing that I know that we should really add is a non-disclosure agreement, and that agreement allows us to control what people working on the app put out to the public, if anything at all, to keep down internal communication to higher ups and external communication to places such as CBS News or ESPN. September 2023, we can see the software and servers get purchased. And as we continue on down, we need a beta version of the app completed by the following year, December. After that, we want to start app testing that following September, just a small trial run. And then with the app being finally complete the following year in May, we want to be able to launch our app by the start of the season 2026. In September of 2026, the app will be deployed for the first regular season game. There's going to be two significant milestones we want to pay attention to here. One of them is going to be the launching of the app itself and surpassing $4 million in revenue. We'll use brand awareness and customer retention as our KPIs for this first year. Brand awareness will help us engage how well our marketing strategies are doing, and customer retention will help indicate whether we keep getting subscribers. Years 2 and 3 are going to be focused primarily on growth and surpassing 30K subscribers in a year. But also we're going to be watching for this number of $4.5 million income. We'll use a return on ad spend as a KPI. These are going to be used to continue to monitor our spending and promotional budget to make sure it's where we want to be. We also will examine customer retention across years 2 and 3 to indicate if the subscribers feel they're getting what they want out of the product.